train your Gavin. Read those books in a blink, oh yeah. Grab yourself a hot drink cause you're watching How to Train Your Gavin. Yep, that's me.
Hi everyone, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. This is episode 5 of my 2020 book hauls. So this is pretty much all of the books that I acquired in April. Most of these were gifted, some of these were bought, so I will go through them all as I usually do. I will go with the gifted middle grade, the bought middle grade, the gifted YA, the bought YA, gifted adult, and the bought adult. But to be fair, I don't think I bought any adult. I won't be opening these that I got this past week. I will be doing a birthday book haul video where I open all of these. Thank you so much to everybody who sent me whatever is in these. So I stopped opening these this week because I thought, oh, maybe somebody's got me these for my birthday. So if you bought me something and I don't show it in this video, it's most likely in this pile. But honestly, thank you so much for everybody who has bought me a book. Like, I say this in every book haul video, but you guys don't have to, but still yous do, and I appreciate it so much with all of my heart. Thank you so much. You know I appreciate it. So I'm going to put these down now. So the first two gifted middle grade books I got in April were The Infinite Lives of Maisie Day by Christopher Edge and Ink Death by Cornelia Funk. And Danielle sent me both of these. Thank you so much, Danielle. I really appreciate it. Infinite Lives of Maisie Day is on my Believe-a-thon TBR. I can't wait to read it. It's like a sci-fi where Maisie wants to make her own nuclear reactor, and one day she wakes up to an empty house, and when she goes outside, everywhere is just this black nothingness. So that sounds cool. Ink Death is the final book in the Ink Spell series, and I haven't got the first two, but I'll probably get those. These were re-released at the start of April with these gorgeous new covers that were illustrated by Carl James Mountford and Steve Wells apparently as well. I'd never read the series before. I think it's to do with like being able to bring stories to life or something like that. It's a classic though, and I cannot wait to read the series, especially with these beautiful covers. And it's huge. Have you seen how huge that is? And I think all of them are big as well. So, chunky middle grades, man. For the win. And then Tracy sent me Tilly and the Lost Fairy Tales, the second book in Pages and Co by Anna James. I literally just finished this one at the very end of April. This was my last Owls for the Owls. I do a full review in my ranking all 17 books I read in April video. So if you want to watch my April wrap up, I talk about this a lot more in there. But this is the second book. In the first book, Tilly discovers that she can book wander, so she can go into books and experience the stories, and also book characters can come out of those books and experience the real world. It's a really good little middle grade series that's very whimsical, very magical, and it's a good time, you know, for really good escapism. So I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was better than the first one. I'm trying to read all the gifted books you guys get me as well, so I'm definitely prioritizing a lot of the gifted books. So I'm very happy that I can say I've read this one. So yeah, thank you so much, Tracy, for sending me this. Next, I was gifted this book by Aoife, and thank you so much, Aoife, for sending me this, and it is How to Train Your Dad. What? This is the first book in the How to Train Your Dragon series by Cressida Cowell. I haven't read any of the How to Train Your Dragon series before, even though my channel is named after it, but this is in my Believe-a-thon TBR now, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's set in a Viking village, and there's a boy called Hiccup, and he has to capture a dragon and train it. And it's very different to the DreamWorks animated film series that I absolutely adore, so hopefully I'll still love this series, but we're going to give this one a try. And then Daniela sent me How to Be a Pirate, the second book in the How to Train Your Dragon series by Cressida Cowell, and Ghost of Green Glass House by Kate Milford, which is the second book in the Green Glass House series. So thank you so much, Daniela, for sending me these two. I am so excited to read the Green Glass House series. I have the first book on my Believe-a-thon TBR, so I can get to this one ASAP. This one has done the rounds from American booktubers talking about this one. Well, the first one anyway that I've seen. So it is set in this wintry kind of hotel, and there are a lot of guests that come randomly, and they each have these kind of secrets and stories, and the main character was just looking for a really chill winter break, but you know, there's mysteries going on or something like that. So I'm really looking forward to reading the first one so I can explain what the first one is about. So this is the second book to that. I'm really loving myself these American paperbacks as well, because these aren't available in the UK unless it's on Amazon. And this is the second book in that How to Train Your Dragon series that I just mentioned. Thank you so much for these and continuing my collections of these series. I have a terrible habit for starting to collect series and not finishing them out. So this is definitely going to kick me up the butt to read them. And then the beautiful Tammy sent me 3 books as well. She sent me the 3rd book in the How to Train Your Dragon series, How to Speak Dragonese. Gorgeous. Yeah, the 3rd book in that series by Cressida Cowell. And she also sent me The Boy Who Made the World Disappear by Ben Miller. He wrote The Night I Met Father Christmas. This came out in hardback last year, but I really wanted the paperback version of it. This is about a young boy who randomly, this is weird, I don't know how this happened, but he's given a black hole for his birthday instead of a balloon. And he starts to make things disappear until the things he loves starts disappearing, so he has to try and fix his mess. So that sounds really interesting. I can't wait to read this one. Ben Miller is an author who has been writing a lot recently, and I think he has a new one coming out at the end of this year, something about fairy tales. So I can't wait to read this. And also another book that a lot of American booktubers have talked about is The Mighty Heart of Sunny St. James by Ashley Herring Blake. Definitely heard Lexi talk about this one. All I really know about this one is that Sunny St. James gets a new heart. It's a contemporary, so I'm just guessing it's more about how she adjusts to it and how she makes new friends, and there might be something about a boy. I don't read a lot of middle grade contemporary, as I probably mentioned, as much as Jade mentioned she doesn't read contemporary. But when I do, I really sprinkle it in amongst all of the fantasy, and I end up really falling in love with the contemporary book so much. They're just, I just love them. I love them. And because I heard so much great stuff about this, I really wanted it. So thank you so much, Tammy, for sending me these 3. The next book I got gifted was from Confuzzle Bev, and she sent me Nooks and Crannies by Jessica Lawson. Never heard of this book, actually. This wasn't on my wish list. This is about a young girl who absolutely loves solving mysteries, and one day she gets an invitation to this mansion, and when she goes there, there are 5 other children who have been summoned there, and I think there's like some kind of ghostly mystery for them to solve, something like that. It sounds really good. Like, I had no idea this existed, and Bev is really good at middle grade recommendations, so I trust Bev's judgment on this, and if she sent me it, that must mean she loves it, so I'm excited. It's mystery, and I'm loving mysteries and ghosts as well, so thank you for bringing this to my attention. The next book I was gifted was from Book Talk with Meg, and she gifted me The Frozen Sea by Piers Torde. I believe this is a sequel to The Lost Magician, which is a bit of a, like, it feels very Narnia-esque, where 4 children come across a portal to another world sort of thing, and they go on this adventure. I think this one just carries the story, but this also came out in hardback last year, and I just really wanted the paperback version of it. So thank you so much, Meg, for sending me this beautiful, beautiful paperback. Oh, there's a jungle, a frozen sea, a dangerous mission, more deadly and magnificent than they imagined. Enchanted Bookshop as well. Oh god, it just sounds so fantastical. Like, I want to read all of these literally straight away. Megan, thank you so much for this, and I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but I love you, thank you. So for the books I gifted myself, not many of them. Guys, this month was the least amount of money I've spent in a single month so far this year, like by a long shot. So don't at me. So these books I've actually talked about quite a lot, and that's The Strange Worlds Travel Agency by L.D. Lipinski and The Vanishing Trick by Jenny Spangler. These 2 books just come out in physical form. I read ARC copies of them and absolutely adored them. I talk about this one in my March wrap-up, and I talk about this one in my April wrap-up. Both really good. This one is about a girl who comes across a travel agency that has suitcases on the walls, but it's a very run-down travel agency. Nobody ever goes in there. But she meets Jonathan, who runs that travel agency, and finds out that the suitcases are portals to different worlds. So when you step in it, you'll step out into a different world. So that's that one. The Vanishing Trick is like a gothic middle grade. It's about an orphan called Leander, and he comes across this Dickensian villain called Madame Pinchbeck, and she makes a sort of trade with him, a sort of bargain, and he finds himself trapped in her service, and she can make him appear and disappear at will, you know, at her command whenever she needs him. But there are 2 other children she's done it to, and this is their sort of attempt to escape. So both really great middle grade books, absolutely adore them. I had to get the final copies of them, 1 because the covers are gorgeous, 2 because I love supporting authors. Whenever I've gotten the proof copies and I've loved the books, I really want to support them, so I buy the finished product, always, always, always. and I love them. And Vanishing Trick is currently the Waterstones Children's Book of the Month for May. So gutted I won't be able to sell it at work, but hopefully I can sell it through my videos. Another book I got myself was The Cutthroat Cafe by Nikki Thornton. This is the third book in the Seth Seppi mysteries. I've only read the first one, The Last Chance Hotel. I need to read The Bad Luck Lighthouse and then Cutthroat Cafe. This follows a young boy who, in the first one, there is a convention of wizards who come to the hotel and there is a death amongst those wizards mysteriously during dinner, and the blame goes towards Seth because he is the young cook, he's the only child there, and he's like the scapegoat. So he has to solve the mystery on his own. In the second one, it's set at a lighthouse, this one's set at a cafe. And I love all of the covers for them. I love how they all match, and I just love the ideas of them. So I'm really looking forward to reading it, and I will get to them eventually, I promise. The next book I got myself was The Explorer by Catherine Rundell. I am dying to read this one. I've seen this one everywhere, and I cannot wait to read this one. Catherine Rundell is one of those really current children's authors who is so prominent, and you hear so many great things about. She's won so many awards, and she has so many different kinds of books out. So I picked up The Explorer because I've been eyeing it for the longest time, and this is about 4 kids who survive a plane crash and are stranded in the Amazon jungle. Oh, it sounds brilliant, and I love adventure stories in jungle settings, and there's so many of them that have been released lately, and this one came out a couple of years ago now, so looking forward to reading it. So the next 3 books I picked up because of Asian Readathon. So I got Where the Mountain Meets the Moon by Grace Lin and the companion novel When the Sea Turned to Silver, and I just finished reading this today, and oh my god, it is my favourite middle grade since Frostheart. I absolutely loved this book. It's Chinese folklore, so this one follows Minli and her dad, tells her stories about the Jade Dragon and the Man of the Moon, the Old Man of the Moon, and she goes on this adventure to find the Old Man of the Moon because her family are poor and she really just wants to change their fortune. On the way, she meets a dragon who can't fly. She also comes across a king and a buffalo boy and a green tiger, and there's just so much to love about this one. It's told in the same kind of way as The Girl Who Speaks Bear. This one came out 11 years ago though. Oh my god, I absolutely love it. I will talk about it properly in a proper wrap-up. Sorry, I'm not talking about it now, but this is fantastic. Don't really know what the companion novel's about, but I wanted it anyway. But also the third book I picked up for Asian Readathon was The Gauntlet by Karuna Riazi. I need to read this one this week, and it's a steampunk Jumanji with a Middle Eastern flair. 3 kids get trapped in a mechanical board game and they have to defeat the evil architect to get out of it or something like that. So it sounds really good. I love things like this. It sounds like Wanderscape. I read last month as well. That's in my wrap up. That's like Jumanji meets Ready Player One. Anyway, those were all the middle grade books I gifted myself. So going on to the YA books that people gifted me. So firstly, a huge thank you to Kristen for sending me So This Is Love, A Twisted Tale by Elizabeth Lim. And this is What If Cinderella Never Tried on the Glass Slipper. I read Mirror Mirror, my first ever Disney Twisted Tale, last month, and that's in my April wrap up, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm so super excited to continue reading the Disney Twisted Tales. This one is a brand new one, so I was really excited to get it. So yeah, Cinderella retelling. Thank you, Kristen. You spoil me absolutely rotten. And then Tracy sent me A Hornier World Twisted Tale by Liz Braswell. This was the last Disney Twisted Tale that I needed to complete my collection of all of them so far. So thank you so much, Tracy. This one is What If Aladdin Had Never Found the Lamp. Aladdin, one of my favourite Disney films of all time. So this one should be absolutely great. I think this was like the first ever Disney Twisted Tale that was released. So I should have started in order, but oops. I'm just really looking forward to reading all of them. And then Bev, who sent me Nooks and Crannies, also sent me The Bone Witch by Rin Chapeko, and I'm so looking forward to reading this one, as I am about all of them, otherwise I wouldn't have put them on my wish list. But this one, I believe, is about a girl who is a necromancer, and she accidentally brings her dead brother back to life, or something like that. I mean, it's written on the cover there, so I haven't spoiled anything, don't worry. Let me be clear, I never intended to raise my brother from his grave, so that sounds really spooky. I love anything to do with witches. This was hyped on BookTube a few years back, I believe, and of course, I'm always late to the party, aren't I? Anything to do with witches, man, I'm a sucker for witches. The beautiful love of my life, Becker, from Becker in the Book, sent me the graphic novel Buffy the Vampire Slayer, High School is Hell. And I don't have a lot of graphic novels, and I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer so much. It's one of my favourite TV shows of all time. So I really wanted the graphic novel, and she delivered. I can't wait. It's going to be such a great read. It'll be so nostalgic, especially since I think Buffy was at its best when she was in high school. I mean, there are brilliant episodes from season 4 to 7 still. But yeah, I missed the high school setting, and then we have Buffy the Vampire season 8, 9, and 10, I think, that continued the series. But I just really wanted it set back in high school. I just really enjoyed it in that setting. So yeah, thank you so much, Becker, for sending me it. It was such a surprise. The only young adult book that I bought myself, and I think it's young adult, is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. And this is the Read, Rate, Review book for the next month. I think there's going to be a live show for it at the start of June, so do check that out. I forgot to put it on my official May TBR, but if I can, I might squeeze it in as my first read of June, or in the last week of May, who knows. It's going to be a close one. I always like to keep them close to the live show so I can remember what happens. Looks really good. What is it about, you ask? So it's set in 18th century Cairo. There's a new world, tales of jinn and spirits, of cities hidden among the swirling sands of the desert, full of enchantment, desire and riches, where magic pours down every street, hanging in the air like dust. It sounds brilliant though. And I know a lot of people have been telling me how great they found this one who have read it recently, so thank you for hyping me up for this. I'm really looking forward to read, rate, review so I can talk about it, but also I still need to read it first. But yeah, thank you, May, for gifting this to myself. You're welcome. So onto the gifted now. Francesca sent me The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden. This is the second book in the Winter Night. Yeah, in the Winter Night trilogy. I'm dying to read them all because I've seen so many great things about the actual whole trilogy. Super hyped at the minute, so I really want to get into reading them. I need to read more adult. And Catherine Arden, I really enjoy her middle grade series, so I bet her adult series is very well written, very beautiful, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. This is the second book, so thank you so much, Francesca, for sending me this. Genuinely have no idea what the series is about. I just know I really want to read it. And then Zara sent me the last book in the Winter Night trilogy, The Winter of the Witch, and also Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. Zara also sent me the Frozen 2 poster. Thank you so much for that. I absolutely love it. It looks amazing on the wall. Honestly, I'm in love with it. I absolutely love it. Thank you. But yeah, this is the third and final book in the Winter Night trilogy, and Dr. Sleep is the sequel to The Shining, which I started reading last year, I think, or the year before, and I wasn't feeling it at the time because I think it was like Christmas time, so I was like, I'm not reading this right now. And I just haven't picked it up since, so I need to read The Shining and then read Dr. Sleep. I was supposed to read a Stephen King book every month, and I did in January and February, and then that totally fell apart in March, April and May. So hopefully in June I'll be able to get back into the Stephen King and read some more adult books. But thank you again so much, Sarah, for sending me these, and the Frozen 2 poster. Thank you so much. So those were all the books that I acquired in April. Again, I do have books that came but I haven't opened yet because I'm assuming they're for my birthday, so I'm keeping them for my birthday. But thank you again so much to absolutely every single person who has sent me something. I really appreciate it. If I could send you all something back, I absolutely, genuinely, wholeheartedly would. You guys just make my day every single day, and I appreciate and love every single one of you. Yeah, I just love you all so much. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Give this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!